Hi guys, it's Crystal with Design Bundles. Today I'm going to show you guys how to sublimate car coasters. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and start with the PNG that I'm using for today's project. This one right here is actually only 1 plus credit. So if you guys are a plus member, this is only 1 credit and it actually comes with 2 files. So you're going to get this one here as well as the one that has Mama. So these are really easy to do. You're just going to go ahead and say purchase with 1 credit. It does it all right here. You don't have to go to the cart, and then you're just going to download it from here and it'll pop right up here. So we're going to go ahead and bring it over to Sawgrass Creative Studio. All right, so now that we're over here in Sawgrass Creative Studio, as you can see, I've already got a template pulled up here. And how do you do this? So if you actually come over here to blank products and you just type out car C, car coaster, even just car, it's going to pop up. Now there's several different car coasters on the market. So you have rubber, acrylic, and you have ceramic. So if you actually hover on this, it'll pop up and you can see where it says ceramic. And that's the one that we're using today. So you're just going to simply click on it. And this is going to give you those correct measurements, because when it comes to rubber and acrylic and the ceramic, they're all going to be different sizes. So you want to make sure that you're choosing the proper one. So I've already got mine chose here. So now the next thing we need to do is come to galleries, go to my images, and we're going to go ahead and bring in our coasters. So I'm going to go ahead and we are going to size this up. You can simply grab your corners here, or you can come to scale right over on the right, and we can scale this up until it completely fits our coaster. Now you can see I've got this piece over here and it actually belongs over here, and all I need to do is click on my design and come over here to rotate, and we can rotate that to where everything will line up. So we're going to just line that up until everything lines up. And we're actually going to scale it out some more. And what you need to do, you don't want to stop right here, right? So you don't want to just go right inside here. You want to bring it all the way out to the gray, because that's your bleed line. So this is your coaster, but you want to give yourself a little bit of bleed line so you don't mess up and end up with a little piece of white. Because if I got to press this, I may mess up and get a little bit of white like that. So you really want to come out into that bleed line. So we're just going to go ahead and keep scaling that like so. So everything looks good to me, so I'm happy with that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to hit print. I'm going to choose my printer. I'm going to use tray 1, and I'm actually using US letter, and I'm going to choose ceramic tile, and then I've got True Pix Classic, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Vivid. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print and hit OK. Now that's going to go to the printer, but I'm not ready for the printer. We're going to go ahead and design the next one so they print on the same page. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and trash this, and we're going to bring in the next one. So I'm bringing it in. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it right away, get these lined up here. We're going to go ahead and scale it out, move it around, scale it out past that bleed line. All right, looks good. So I'm in that bleed line. I'm happy with it. I'm not all the way in the bleed line. I just need enough to cover my design. All right, so everything looks good to me. I'm happy with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send it to the printer. Once again, I'm going to choose the exact same settings as I did the first time. This is very important, because if you don't, it's not going to print on the same page. So US letter, tray 1, ceramic tile, True Pix Classic. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and hit print. All right, so now you can see that they have both popped up on the same page over here in Print Manager. So they are both right here. Now, maybe you need a little bit of space. So I want space so I can actually just lay them both on the same sheet of paper, and or I can have room to cut in between. So the way to do that, you're going to come to Layout, and you're just going to go to Spacing, which is right here. We're going to go ahead and hit the plus sign, and we're going to give us some space. So you can give yourself as much or as little space as you want. I'm going to give mine just a little bit more so those ceramic tiles can perfectly set on here. Now you can go ahead and turn off these if you'd like. You don't have to have it centered. You can definitely have them up here so that way we can cut the paper and save it. And that's what I am going to do. So everything looks good to me. I'm completely happy with this. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Now that we have everything printed out, I've cut this down to size, and we've got our coasters. So today I'm using, these are actually sandstone coasters, but I just used the same settings for ceramic. And then optional, you could get this green pad from Condi as well. This is going to help you kind of wrap those edges just a little bit on the top to get that perfect press, but you definitely don't have to have that. Now also, I'm using Pro Spray from Condi. So this right here, you're just going to spray it. There's other brands on the market. You're going to spray this, and actually you want to do this outside or in a box to where it won't get all over everything. So we're going to go ahead and take some alcohol and clean these just as we usually would to make sure there's no lint or any sort of debris. So I'm just going to quickly clean those up. And now we are ready. I've already sprayed this outside. I've got a piece of parchment paper to protect my surface just because it's kind of sticky. Instead of using heat tape, this is what you want to use for things like this. So we're going to put the smooth side down. You can tell the difference in the textures. So the smooth side down, and we're trying to center our design. So now what we're going to do, when we take this to the press, we're actually going to load it in upside down like this. So we're actually going to flip it up and set it in the press like this. So let's go prep up the press. Number one, we need to have this, we need to get a cover sheet on the bottom just because we don't want any sublimation ink to get on our pad. You always want to protect that. And we're going to go ahead and adjust that pressure so we don't break our coasters. You're going to go ahead and load it down coasters and then the image face down. You want to add another piece of parchment paper to protect your press, and then we're going to add our green pad on top of that. The green pad is just going to help you wrap those edges a little bit more to get a nicer look on the top. Now, if you're using a green pad, you want to add an extra 60 seconds to your time. If not, you're going to press it 90 seconds for 400 degrees, but with the green pad, you would press it for 150 to 160 seconds for 400 degrees. Now we are ready to press, so we're just going to go ahead and flip that around and press it. You would do the same thing for your clamshell. So we're just going to go ahead and adjust that pressure. I can tell that I need to adjust it just a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop it down. So you want medium pressure with this, and then you're going to see I'm going to go ahead and press that time. We couldn't see that, so we can see what we've got going on. So this is 150 seconds, and now that we're ready to go, we're going to go ahead and pop this little guy open. As you can see now, I've got my heat resistant gloves on. This is going to protect me because these are going to be hot. So you want to move your green pad out of the way, and then you're going to go ahead and remove your parchment paper. And at this point, you can go ahead and peel off your paper. So you're going to peel off that sublimation paper. And it's that easy. Look at how nice and vibrant these look. They look so, so good. And you can see with that green pad how we got it all the way to the edge. It doesn't wrap all the way on the sides. It just gets perfectly on that edge. So how super cute are these? And once again, if you are a Plus member, these are 1 credit right now. You get both of these designs. They're super, super cute. So now I'm going to let these fully cool down. And once they're cooled down, you're ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.